literally with 10 hours to go, I decided I'm going to do the day trade. I've just done it because I'm determined that I'm going to have the Napalm Grenades before the week resets. And wow, that was like 40 minutes ago, and I've managed to get 150 standing in that 40 minutes. Oh, this mod had better be worth it. Oh, there has to be a better way to spawn these guys in. They are obnoxious at best, but this should give me the 150 I need. I wish the event was still on, or I'd farmed a few of them during the event. There was, apparently, you can join Fortuna, leave, come back, because they usually spawn at the start. I think that's been fixed. Despite what I am looking at and where I am located, I will show you in a second once this is finished. I've been in here for 24 minutes, running around trying to get these guys to spawn. And now, if I click on this, yeah! Napalm Grenades. Grenades leave a burning patch. This is kind of like the enemies that I just showed being taken down. They can throw these things that are void grenades that will even hurt Limbo in his void form. This should do a similar kind of thing that will add a plus 30 base status chance. And wow, okay, my Penta may have been left for way too long, to the point of there's a mod missing. I'm assuming that's where Serration once lived, but for some reason it's gone. I don't know why, it's just gone. That is actually a ridiculously bad build. This thing only has a 10% status chance. What the? Now you do have to remember, this being a augment for it, things like tether grenades, I think it's called, won't work. Yes, there it is. Tether grenades will not work while this is in here because obviously it's an augment and you can't run two augments at once. This thing, I'm probably going to have to work on this a little bit more, but that's a lovely sign of things to come, isn't it? Network's not responding. Oh, lovely. But you can see the whole way that I was doing it in had a bunch of mods and everything else there. Oops. Reload. Reload faster. Thank you. And again. I was just kind of sitting here, throwing them in here, and when they were coming through, they were taking damage. So it works really well for being an augment. Sometimes they can work, sometimes they don't. Needed that more in the middle, so when they run over it, they'll take a bit more damage. If people weren't killing them on the other side, that is. Kaboom! I've missed the Penta. I don't understand what happened to my build on this. It just kind of... yeah, I cannot explain that one in the slightest. It just straight up disappeared, but it's nothing a quick narrow-minded won't fix. Heavy caliber, sorry. Fire! Oh, not high enough. If I shoot the door, will it stay on the door? That's a big no. Oh wow, it actually will. And if I open the door, the fire will... okay, even better for its crowd control capabilities. You can just shoot the door. And when they try to run through the door, it will just kill them. Or of course I could just throw it up there and hope that works. Aww. Too low a level enemy, I know. But honestly, this actually does more damage from its base explosion than it does from these little fireballs that stay behind once it's gone. Yes, it's going to be handy for a few things. If you know where enemies are going to spawn and you can stand far enough away from it that you can kind of leave the fire in place. Yeah, it will deal a little bit of damage over time, but that'll happen. It doesn't last long enough, which is probably the only downside to this. Apart from that, this is actually pretty effective for its basic crowd control function of being able to block off a hallway for any enemy that's coming through. If you remember that it's not going to stop them from coming through because it disappears really, really quickly. It's about 10 seconds. And I also misread this. I was right, its base status is 10%. I was trying to figure out how I ended up with 29% from just one kind of status chance mod, it's because when it says it adds 30 base status chance, it actually turns this into a status based weapon because it gives it a 40%. It adds the 30 to the base 10, giving it 40%. It's not an extra 30%, which is great because it means you can build this thing for status, and it's going to change the way that people build their pentas in the future, because now you can actually build it for status and it's going to be more effective than it was before. I just wish there was a way of increasing the duration of the fire patch it leaves. 10 seconds, it's still good, but that is pretty much the only downside to this. Just the fact that it adds an extra 30 to the base status makes this thing pretty worth trying to get to. The only real issue, apart from the 10 seconds of it sitting there burning, is the fact that to get to it you need to be rank 22 in the Wolf of Saturn 6, which this was week 5. 5 weeks to get to this point, and as I've mentioned, I missed one of the elite things in the past. I think there was one of the 3000s I may have missed as well, so you could still probably get here after 5 weeks, but that is a lot of doing all of these missions all the time to get to the point of being able to pick this thing up. I hope once the Wolf of Saturn 6 leaves, maybe this will make its way into a syndicate, making it easier to get, but for now, the biggest downside to this is where it is located, because that turning the Penta into a status-based weapon, you could easily get this to 100% status and still have a really effective Penta. It's definitely worth farming for this thing if there's enough time left. But we'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.